Let's talk about amateur, what you shot it on, how you secure the locations.
Yeah, so Amateur, is the short prequel for Man-Child, and it came about because I felt that making a short was the last box I could check as far as, okay, I'm going to write the script. Is the script good? Does it get recognition from places like IFP and Lincoln Center? Does it get a grant from Tribeca? Okay, those boxes are checked. It's been externally validated. Okay, what's next? Well, can I run a crowdfunding campaign that's big enough that shows people, hey, there's interest in this movie, and that I have an audience that would end up, result in me bringing, 6 figures of financing to the table myself in addition to the script. Okay, that box is checked. What else can I do? Okay, let's see if I can make a short that's a proof of concept, that's the same genre, that shows I can direct basketball and I understand the sport, that shows I can direct young African American actors, because the entire movie, the star of the movie is in every single scene. It's not going to be a movie where there's a bunch of adults talking and that's the majority of the film. So the short came about because I wanted to do something that was of the same genre and actually has some of the same characters as the feature, as a proof of concept. And when I initially had the idea for it, it was starting out very small. I was thinking about shooting it myself, and most of it was going to take place in school hallways, which I figured would be easier to secure than an actual gymnasium. And at the time, I was meeting with my producer Chip Horahan, who produced Frozen River and Any Day Now, and we were talking about the feature. And I sent him over the short script, and he liked it a lot. And all of a sudden, now the team is 2. All of a sudden, I'm scouting gyms in New York City. He's scouting gyms in New Jersey. It's coming together. I went and met with my DP, Greg Wilson, who he and I, again, had a number of conversations about the feature. He had read the script, and I sent him the script for the short and said, hey, I'm trying to make this, soon, really soon. And then our team was 3. So all of a sudden we had multiple people calling in favors, and it was becoming larger than what I had originally imagined, but in a good way, because I wrote it to be something that was very achievable. Knowing all of the challenges that the feature is facing, I essentially started with, what can I write that is basically a conversation between 2 people in one location? And can I make it dramatic, and can I make it rewarding? And all of that is going to be dependent on, the writing and the directing and the performances and the story, all of which are the most important things in filmmaking. So there was that sort of challenge that I set out for myself. Thankfully, Chip and Greg were also, pushing the ball up the hill, and we were able to call in just a lot of favors. Because one of the great things about doing a weekend shoot is someone might be available that weekend. They're not working otherwise, so you can go get equipment or personnel for less than it would have been. That's one of the challenges when you're shooting a movie for 20 or 30 days. You can't call in a favor for 20 or 30 days. So originally we were going to shoot it on my Red Scarlet, and Greg, my DP, hadn't shot on Red before, so it was a good opportunity for him. Not that he hasn't shot on things that high end. He's shooting on Alexas and things, but getting the Red experience was going to be good either way. But then when the weekend rolled around, because we've been already talking to rental houses through all of our connections, other equipment became available through friends from the rental house. We didn't know what lenses we would be shooting on until the day before, when they said, hey, we have these Arri zooms available. And we said, okay, great, we're shooting on that now. So we ended up not even touching my Red Scarlet, because Greg's friend rents an Epic that was available. So all of a sudden we were shooting on that, and I think for an online release, you probably can't tell the difference between 4K and 5K. And but of course it was just, well, we have a better camera, we'll use that. It's not costing us anything. It literally would have been more expensive for us to go buy a T4i DSLR and bring it to set and shoot on that, because we were able to get equipment based on a favor. So the idea was that I didn't want to make excuses for this short, other than the challenges of the locations and the fact that it's not necessarily an action-packed, like viral online video with music and special effects and everything. I mean, I think there are challenges of releasing it online in that sense, but I didn't want to have to make excuses for the production quality, the sound quality, the gym. Like, these are all things that are, as a trio, we were able to secure and to scout. And once you have a good DP, Greg has connections to crew members, and we paid people, but we didn't pay people what they would have been paid if this was a mayonnaise commercial. So we were able to bring it in, and I think the production quality is really high. We had one sound guy, not two, and he was able to do the booming and the mixing and everything himself. And so really we were able to pull it together, and I'm really proud of it. And so hopefully, that proof of concept is going to be checking that last box that I spoke of and saying, oh, okay, now I get the vision for the feature, and now I get the level of performance and storytelling that makes you want to see the feature. And we'll see what comes henceforth from releasing this.
So you had 48 hours, was that right, to do the entire film, or just to use the gym?
Oh, we didn't have 48 hours to use the gym. We actually we wrapped the gym in a single day, and the challenge was, so Chip, my producer, found this great location, this gym in Edison, New Jersey, and we went and we scouted it, and we said, this is great. The challenge was that a kids' soccer game had the gym reserved in the middle of the day. So, it was a weekend shoot, a day and then a night. You can't really do a night and then a day because the crew's there's be no turnaround time. So we had to shoot the gym on Saturday and the exterior night on Sunday. So we couldn't, avoid this kids' soccer game. So yeah, we had one day in the gym, and in the middle, we had to move all our equipment. The kids come in, play their soccer game, and then continue shooting, which meant that we ended up shooting a number of things out of order, which meant that we had less time in the gym, but we were able to schedule our lunch when they were in the gym, and then go shoot our locker room scene and then come back. But literally we were picking up, there's a couple edits where someone's having a conversation and it's a two-shot, and then the close-up that you're cutting to was 4 hours later after these kids had played a soccer game, and we're trying to match our lighting, and there were a lot of logistical challenges to the short that I hope don't show up when you watch it, especially given the fact that the short opens with some action, and that always takes time to film to get it right and to have the action match, and it's a single camera shoot, so we're recovering things from multiple angles. So most of that short, of that 9-minute short, 75% of that is shot after lunch on day one in the gym. So it's not a luxurious situation to be saying, okay, take 16, we're going. No, it's very few takes. It is moving very quickly. It's everyone sort of making sacrifices as far as what you can do with lighting, how many takes you can get, even just changing the staging because the lights are in a certain way and you can get to the scene faster if you don't move over there. So I think it was a really good set of challenges to face, to be able to prove myself in that environment. And I'm proud of what we ended up with, regardless of all of those challenges, but especially because when what you went through as a filmmaker, the audience is never going to know that. So you sort of just have to be internally proud about what you were able to achieve given the limited circumstances you had.
How many people then were on the crew? Was it 5 or?
We had a sizable crew. It was definitely the largest crew I'd ever worked with because the crew was greater than myself. I'm used to, on our web series that we did, Zach Lieberman, my co-director, he and I were the crew. So we were the sound, camera, everything. This was actually the first time that I'd stepped onto a set and my name was on the slate. And action. Oh, this is great. I'm not pulling focus. I can actually give the actor a note and not, be distracted by the fact that I blew a focus pull myself at the same time. So I think there were about 12 people on set, including cast. So, but we were able to get a lot out of our crew, and some of that was people who came on last minute for free, but yeah, that was definitely, it was good to be able to have access to the lighting setup that we had, and be able to have, a great DIT, Tom Wong, on set, who's done a lot of red stuff, and just to be, working with professionals is, there's no substitute for it. So it was great to, be able to get as much as we did in a short amount of time because everybody was proficient at their job and everyone was on the same page.